Peacock is going to turn around and be like, hey, where'd all the Tootsie Rolls go?
Everybody knows it's how I roll. When you step into my van, you get a Tootsie Roll.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving back into r/LegbeardStories. Bam, bam, bam. And there's only one Legbeard story. Well, there's two. We got Stealthbeard and we got Unfortunately. One of them is seemingly at a standstill, but I am all caught up. But Unfortunately just has so much stuff that we have yet to get through. So I gotta put my hard hat on, you know, go spelunking into this. I don't even know what to call it. Tale of terror, for sure. It's like a Neckbeard story / Legbeard story. We get a twofer, essentially. And it is not the dream come true that I was hoping for. Oh, God. I do put it off, but yeah, it's time. We got a balls to the wall. We got a few other sagas going that are Neckbeard stories, but we are going to get Unfortunately into like a regular rotation because I can be a big brave boy sometimes. Anyways, let's get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way. And then I guess we'll just dive right into some of this tasty Legbeard Stories cringe. Unfortunately Part 7. Courting of the Peacock. Oh, that poor peacock. I think that's what peacocks sound like. My neighbor used to have some. Hey there, dear ReddX fans. Greenie here for some more Unfortunately. Feeling sane as ever, going through the mess. In fact, here's a photo of me going through these memoirs. Yep, that's Charlie Kelly. Oh boy, I remember that episode quite fondly. The person that they were looking for did in fact exist, they just couldn't find him. But unfortunately OP found Unfortunately, or Unfortunately found her. I can't really remember how all this started off, but goddamn, it's been a ride. I'll try to maintain a chronology. I'll make some more for things that defy the timeline later, or just keep smushing them in there as I remember. Or we can jump back and forth depending on what nightmare sparks another ancient monstrosity. I guess we'll see. Yes, we will see about that monstrosity. I don't know what happens with my mouth sometimes. Also, what I could do as user Madame Macabre did and make separate sagas for Wolfbeard and Miss Piggy, which the Miss Piggy one was never finished, so please don't do that. At least in my opinion. I think I want to relay my experience being ping-ponged between these two exactly like I had experienced it. So y'all might get a glimpse how horrible and how endless this barrage was. One of them threatens to kill me, and then I turn to the other for support, and they threaten to kill themselves. Oh, God. There was just no point in between for a sanity check or even the briefest reprieve. Just a slow downward spiral into complete madness. But I digress. Let's get into the links and the cast. While this episode I think is relatively safe, I'm keeping all Unfortunately parts not safe for work just in case. These stories get odd and gross at times. You have been warned twice now. Also, OP will not be present for this segment of the story, but I've gotten permission and recounts of details from both Brute and Peacock for this part. Oh dang, we getting like a third-person storytelling. Ain't nothing wrong with that. At least I don't have to feel sad for OP this time around. Maybe I'll just get to enjoy some delicious cringe. But yeah, we got the prologue, part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jesus! I've done so many Unfortunately videos, and I ain't stopping either. The cast. Unfortunately, our specimen, weeb extraordinaire, bisexual vampire cat, looking to be the center of attention no matter what. But she, of course, denies this fact. She's currently on the prowl for her next lover. Yeah, lover, not victim. No. Seemingly physically incapable of being single. The longest I recall her going without someone was like 2 months. How's she get in all these relationships if she's like such a disgusting manipulative monster? Maybe she does like the Boomhauer King of the Hill shotgun approach. You know what I'm talking about? Just ask everybody. Eventually somebody's gonna say yes. Fabulous Peacock, a hairdresser that had endless patience and an uncanny ability to discuss and get along with absolutely everyone. Polite to a fault, bit of a doormat, and had near endless patience during the nookie times. Tall, skinny, usually with some wild hair color. Also, the nookie times definitely not as fun as it sounds. Brute, Fabulous Peacock's best friend since kindergarten. They used to live in the same apartment complex and hung out daily while growing up. Brute is for brutally honest, as Brute isn't mean, but she never minces words. If you're doing something stupid or lying to yourself, she will let you know. This made her wildly unpopular with most, but an extremely good friend for those who knew how to appreciate sincerity. Brute also has unfortunate nookie stories going, and I will get into those probably after OP's version of events. If I try and do them simultaneously, yeah, things are going to get muddy pretty fast. So, one at a time. Emo is unfortunate nookie's girlfriend for 9 whole days, out of which 4 she spent just trying to completely avoid her. Friend to both Brute and Fabulous Peacock way before unfortunate nookie showed up. Here's Brute's account on those 9 days. Can't do it. Not yet. Don't want to muddy the waters, you know? Eventually we'll get there. Hopefully in the compilation I'll remember to cut it in like a proper-ish order. First love. That is unfortunate nookie's supposed first love. They had sex when unfortunate nookie was only 14 and he was in his late 20s. Ugh. He broke it off as a mistake. Unfortunately, cheated on Naruto Headband with first love at around 16, got pregnant, but to this day claims that it was Naruto Headbands, and got an abortion. After being dumped by Naruto Headband when Nookie was around 17-ish, First Love and Nookie started dating. Again. Unfortunately, claimed to be pregnant by him with an insane amount of glee and joy. First Love, however, got spooked by this when it turned out she wasn't pregnant after all, and he dumped her again. First Love is also a horrible, creepy weirdo, which somebody reminded me of in the comments. He said that he couldn't promise that he wouldn't, molest his kids or something like that. He'd totally have kids, but he can't promise he wouldn't molest them. Ugh, there's no winners in this story, okay? First Love, unfortunately, Naruto Headband, just despicable people. And while we don't know as much about First Love, I fucking hate him. But anyways, with the cast list out of the way, let's go. It's like the Baton Death March. Okay, let's go. I was promised some laughs today. I don't have to worry about OP. It's gonna be fine, guys. Don't worry. Where last we left off, unfortunately clung to Emo, who quickly yeeted her as a crazy. Afterwards, unfortunately got back together with First Love and used him to farm for digital currency on her websites of choice. As well as some manga from the comic book store that First Love worked in. She told Greenie that she was pregnant with First Love's child, which freaked OP out because OP believed that it would make her homeless again, if true. Unfortunately got upset that OP wasn't letting her be happy. Up until it turned out that she wasn't pregnant after all, and First Love left her. Meanwhile, Naruto Headband, who is OP's boyfriend and unfortunately's ex, had threatened to kill himself if OP wouldn't stop being friends with unfortunately. It was also implied, even if not directly said, that OP would end up dying along with him if she did not obey. Feeling absolutely disgusted with herself, OP did choose to cut ties with unfortunately. Unfortunately, became aggressive when cornered, as one does. She spouted obscenities at OP for cutting her off, and then stomped off to find friendship and more in other places. It's been a mess, but the fun don't stop. But wait, there's more. Unfortunately, was possibly, at least by her own account, the loneliest person that I had ever met. She'd mention it every time you spoke with her, and when she took a constrictor snake death grip to hang onto your arm, she would hang from your arm and tell it to anyone who saw her about the endless pits of loneliness that she was in. Always, without an end. Well, I don't think advertising your loneliness is going to help make you less lonely, even if you weren't a horrible person. People like to be around fun people, happy people. Why am I going to hang around a sad sack? The only reason OP continues to hang out with her is out of pity, which is exactly what Unfortunate's endgame is, isn't it? Oh yes, we've got her number by now. Yet, despite her claims, she'd always have tons of people to turn to for some reason. When her best friend, OP, cut her off without her probably ever finding out the full extent of why, other than Naruto Headband told me to, she put more focus and effort into her vocational school buddies, Emo, Brute, and Fabulous Peacock. Now, Emo had all but disappeared since their short stint dating. Avoided her like the plague, was how Brute put it. The forced public shows of affection, the constant groping and physically clinging to Emo, with the odd implications that Emo should be more boyish for Unfortunate, and of course the screaming and the crying and the banging her head on the wall over a breakup. There were multiple reasons to pick from as to why Emo did not want to see Unfortunate ever again. I mean, at least she's, only abusing herself. She didn't come after Emo with a metal Sailor Moon pencil case. Y'all remember that from the first story? That's a throwback. So that left Unfortunate with just Brute and Fabulous Peacock. Brute had already written her off as not worth her time, but Fabulous Peacock still had patience for her bullshit. She still had understanding and forgiveness left in her. We all make mistakes and stumble sometimes, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure all that patience, understanding, and forgiveness is going to get wrung out like a sponge. Unfortunately, just has a way about her, She spots people who will put up with her bullshit, and she takes and takes until she can't take no more. But that's not actually the case. It's until the other person has to say no more of this freaking bullshit. I guess it's true that I don't have to worry about OP in this story, but I'm immediately already worrying about Fabulous Peacock. In true Neckbeard fashion, and very typical for Unfortunate, she took Fabulous Peacock's lack of malice and general kindness, which Fabulous Peacock honestly extended to everyone that she met equally, as a sign that Fabulous Peacock must really like her. Especially her, more than anyone else, and they will be together forever. And so began the courting of the Peacock. Well, I don't know if they end up dating. I hope not. I hope she stands her ground and is just like, nah, I was just being nice. You're weird and you smell bad. Brute quickly noticed that Nookie was trying to separate her from Peacock, much like she had done with Emo. Peacock was completely oblivious, as she had never really been the target of obsession for anyone in her life. In fact, me and Peacock have many times laughed and lamented about how bad we are at noticing when somebody likes us. Which is kind of strange for a girl. Usually women pick that type of stuff up immediately. It's guys that bumble around and they're like, what? Who likes me? What? But I do suppose it could happen to anybody. Nookie would mooch off of Peacock, free meals, by whining about how hungry she was and that she just hadn't eaten. I also believe she, at this point, added bulimia to her ever-changing list of "I'm a unique snowflake," on top of Wiccan, bisexual, vampire cat, or comma between that, vampire also cat, and obviously, quite obviously, otaku. What was the current setup at the time can be blurry, as for example, she denies ever being Wiccan, but I believe that during the Peacock phase, she was a bulimic bisexual otaku. Yeah. God. Oh, Fabulous Peacock bitterly remembers unfortunate Nookie somehow using her bulimia to explain why she only ate sushi. Everything else makes me vomit. Oh, there are people with real food issues, you know what I mean? And you're making a joke of all that. And while I do respect food issues and whatnot, I mean, you don't need to print me out a list. I'm never going to be the one that ends up feeding people aside from my wife and kids. We will stray a bit into the entirety of Nookie and Peacock beyond just the courting of the Peacock. Conveniently, almost every time unfortunate Nookie met up with Peacock, Nookie was hungry. Oh, fat cat girl wants to get fed. What is that Legbeard video I made a long time ago? I think it is the fat cat girl video. She was hungry loudly and exaggeratedly so, with holding her stomach and quivering lips. Peacock would, as a small business owner and also a really nice person, offer to buy her a meal more times than not. Nookie would not graciously accept, nay, probably because she's never known grace in her life. She would always demand the most expensive sushi available. For some reason, she never wanted to eat anything else when Peacock was buying. Huh, fancy that. It always had to be that high-end luxury sushi. Yeah, give me that fatty tuna, boy. But I'm not eating off anybody else's dime. Fuck that. How shameless can you be? I'll buy my own fatty tuna or I don't eat it. She didn't eat McDonald's, no home-cooked meals, no pizza, no decent sushi or ready-made packs from the store. These she simply would not do. It had to be the 16+ euro sushi, lest she wither away from starvation. Oh, bitch, you a long way from starvation, okay? Nookie would complain that, I look so ugly. My hair is awful. This was something that Peacock could help with. So she offered Nookie a free makeover, complete with makeup to make her feel better. It was worth several hundreds in material and time worked had Peacock done this for a client. And I'll admit, Peacock did an amazing job. And when she was done, for exactly one day, Nookie looked really quite pretty. I don't believe you. Nookie showed how much she appreciated all that hard work and effort that Peacock had put into her hair, and went and bought a 3 euro hair color the next day and re-dyed her hair, ruining all of the work that Peacock had done for her, including a light perm that she had given her. Oh my god. Maybe she just wanted to prove to herself that she's capable of doing something with her hair too. Not really a passable excuse, but it is a reason, I guess. Perms alone are like $40 to $100, not counting all the hours spent and the hair color and the makeup. Ugh. Nookie, also in the future, of course, would expect all of her haircuts and hair colorings to be free, and she would get upset if Peacock asked her to pay for her time and effort like fucking everyone else did. Oh god, I hate her so much. Oh, Peacock, you can't save him, man. I'm interested about how long of a time frame this all took place over, because really, if if this shit was going on for a couple days to a week, I would already be out. And of course, all this added just yet another mystery as to why such unfortunate things only happened to Nookie. Extreme lack of self-awareness? Yeah. Maybe it's not 100% completely that, but I know that that does not help. Unfortunately, still has a photo of one other hairdo that Peacock gave her up on Facebook. A wild black red orange mix where, for some reason, she's topless in the photo of her hair. You can see her naked back in the reflection of a mirror. The hair is very nice, but the toplessness of the photo makes me want to cringe every time I see it. She tagged Fabulous Peacock in it, so I can view it at my leisure if I need some of that cringe. I am not going to ask you to share that. In fact, I'm going to ask you specifically not to share that. That is not something I need bouncing around in the old noodle. Peacock also bought commissions from Unfortunate to support her financially. Besides fucking feeding her, 2 pieces for 100 euros. Peacock and Nookie agreed on 2 pieces that Nookie would draw for her, fully colored, at Unfortunate suggestion. Let me tell you what I'm gonna draw and you pay me for it, bitch. I'm good with $50 for artwork, you know, but only if I'm making the request. Like, this doesn't make any sense. After 3 years of waiting, Nookie had made 1 sketch out of something that she felt like drawing. Not at all what Peacock had asked for and paid for. When she asked for a refund, Nookie actually did give the money back, but with a petty, "I was going to finish them." Time's up. Time was up a long fucking time ago. Forget about it. Unfortunately, also did what she often does to anyone who wants something out of Peacock. When Peacock switched from hairdressing to managing a candy store, Unfortunately dropped hints about how she'd love to make some money. Oh god, she's gonna eat the entire stock. And since we're friends, and I'd love to help you out, how would it be if we work together? Peacock didn't want to say how she felt, which was, of course, fuck no. That's how all of us feel. But instead, in her endless politeness, simply left it at, I don't think so, but we'll see. I gotta give Peacock points for I don't think so. That's almost a direct confrontation statement, isn't it? Very gentle when compared to no, but yeah, essentially it does mean no. We all knew how unreliable and terrible of an employee she was. No one wanted to give her any responsibility over anything. And who could blame you for that? Nookie then proceeded to go around telling people that she works at the candy shop with Peacock. Really? Oh god, dude. I guess she was assuming that if she lies about it, Peacock would just be forced to make it so. I know of at least one relationship that she manipulated herself into being with this same tactic, but I'll return to that later. Also, with Peacock in the candy shop, the tactic, of course, failed miserably, and unfortunately would rant about it to me endlessly, detailing how heartless Peacock was for not understanding how much she needed the money, and how great she would have been at this job. Unfortunately, can't even fulfill a couple of commissions. How's that gonna go if you're working at a candy shop? Lazy, hungry bitch working at a candy shop? Nah, dude, I know exactly. Peacock is gonna turn around and be like, hey, where'd all the Tootsie Rolls go? Unfortunately, he's gobbling them like a fucking gremlin in the corner. She's like, I don't know. I can see it in my mind's eye. And by the way, where's my paycheck? You ate it, you dumb cow. But back to removing Brute from the picture and making Peacock take her out on a sushi date. She then pressed for a sleepover with Peacock, which she didn't mind. Peacock had had plenty of sleepovers with Brute throughout the years. But then, things got weird. I mean, weirder than her just spilling all of her weird kinks and fetishes onto Peacock, who just accepted all data as the polite person that she was raised to be. There's limits to politeness. You need to draw a line in the sand at some point and be like, that is not something I'm comfortable discussing. That's a polite rejection, but it also keeps a firm boundary. But Peacock did not say this. And of course, she felt weirded out, but didn't let her disapproval show because that would not befit a host to mock their guest, you know? I'd do it. Peacock was polite to a fault. Like I said, dude, politeness has limits. You can still be polite and draw the line in the sand. Unfortunately, turned off the lights. Oh no. And crawled uncomfortably close to Peacock. Oh my. And then tried to make out with her. Peacock did not read into the situation at all until the dragon breath was upon her. Peacock rejected this and Nookie went to bed, disappointed and rejected.
Why does this always happen to me?
Yeah, another fucking mystery indeed. Oh boy, at least the line was drawn there. You never make out with somebody just to be polite. So I guess I don't have to worry about Peacock too much. Nookie later called Brute to discuss these events. Unfortunately,
I think Fabulous Peacock likes me.
Brute? I doubt that. Peacock is as straight as they come. Unfortunately,
But we share this deep connection. We always talk about everything and she listens to me. She's not like this with anyone else.
Brute? No, she's pretty much like that with basically everyone else. Unfortunately.
What do you think she'll do if I confess my feelings to her?
Brute, I wouldn't if I were you. She'll reject you. As I already said, Peacock is not into girls. If you force yourself onto her, it'll wreck your friendship. Unfortunately.
I think you're wrong. I think you're just jealous. You don't know her as well as I do.
Here we go. I'll rewind to the cast introduction at this point, where, as stated, Brute and Fabulous Peacock have been best friends since kindergarten. Unfortunately, had known both of them for maybe a year. While the statement was utterly ridiculous, it also made Brute's blood boil. Brute, yeah, go on then. Confess your feelings to her. Just don't come crying to me when she rejects you. Unfortunately, did indeed confess her feelings to Fabulous Peacock, who, to the surprise of only Unfortunately, rejected her by saying that she's not into girls. Also, more specifically, not into her, though she was too kind to say that part to Unfortunately's face. Stunned, shunned, and depressed, our very unfortunate and undesirable Nookie was left to hunt for other prey. Oh, that poor other prey. But props to Peacock for wiggling her way free. I do like her. She's, she's polite, but she doesn't ever let herself get forced into anything. Very comfortable in her own skin, I would say. I admire that. Unfortunately's first love had left her, again, after the baby scare, and for some reason Nookie called Brute to cry about the lost baby. Oh, that's gonna be delicious. Brute responded, good. You didn't need to have your life be even more messed up than it already is. And unfortunately just pushed on, also lamenting how Fabulous Peacock rejected her.
I don't understand why. What we had was so good. What did I do wrong?
Brute, gee, I don't know. I told you she isn't into girls. I told you she wouldn't return your feelings, but you wouldn't listen because you never fucking do. In a huff, Unfortunately hung up on Brute, who wouldn't feel sorry for Nookie's self-caused miseries anymore. And that really is what it was all about, just trying to soak up some pity so she can continue existing. I think she's maybe like a pity succubus, you know? This is the only way she can continue to survive. And Brute was starving her. Fabulous Peacock suddenly became even more busy and had even less read no time for Nookie after that confession. Peacock didn't cut her off like me, but just kind of faded her out for the time being. Unfortunately, Nookie would have endless vague rants on Facebook
about not having any real friends, since real friends would make time for me.
And these were clearly aimed at Peacock. Why not send her a message? Why you gotta be weird on Facebook? Stop it! Nookie would of course deny anything if she was ever questioned about the implications of these posts because,
am I not allowed to express my feelings? I guess I'm just such a piece of shit. I'll shut up forever.
Spoiler alert, she never does shut up. And she also forever remains a piece of shit. Rejected and lonely, unfortunately gets friendly with a guy called Kendo.
Is he a master swordsman?
Kendo, according to Nookie, raped her. Oh, God. And then she started dating him because he made her feel safe. What the fuck?
What? What the fuck?
No, just no. These things were unrelated, and unfortunately
is just so mysterious. You just don't understand her.
When she's questioned on what fucking universe does this train of thought make sense? Yes, unfortunately would often describe herself as
mysterious
and say no one understands her because
I never talk about myself.
Whatever you gotta tell yourself, bitch. Holy hell. But I will get into that in the next part. Remember, laughter is the music of the soul. If you can laugh at it, you can also get over it. Also, aim to shower daily. It is good for you. Mother of God. I don't understand how one person can be so frigging pig-headed. Like, dude, take a hint, okay? Just a little tiny bit of self-reflection would help you so much. But she just seems physically incapable. And these problems keep stacking up and she'll never realize or admit that they are all her doing. It's her fault. 100%. Holy shit, man. Unfortunately is just on another level. Probably not one of the worst Legbeards that we've seen, but definitely one of the dumber Legbeards that we've seen. Holy shit, man. It's hard to sit by and watch. But this episode was significantly less painful than some past episodes where, you know, bad things were happening to OP. Fabulous Peacock seems to hold her own pretty well. And Brute, yes, I do love that brutal honesty. It makes me really look forward to the post that we're going to get about Unfortunate Nookie from her point of view. So, I don't know, man. The saga rolls on, and I thank you guys for joining me for it. I do hope that you will like, comment, and or subscribe. If you did enjoy the video, maybe share the video around if you should like. That is the MVP play. We've also got some links in the description. Yes, indeed. Lots of plugs and playlists and even podcasts. Wow, 3 Ps. That's a lot of good stuff. And I've tried to separate it a little bit with some, whatever, dividers so you can maybe tell what's going on. It's a lot of stuff. My description is now officially full, which I guess is a good feeling. Whatever. We've also got my social medias down there. Of course, you know, the Twitter and the Discord and the Facebook. Oh, and my Patreon. Yes, and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I would like to thank them all as I do every video, so thank you very much.
Robert Waits, River, TSM Kirby, USMC, Aaron W, Twisted Child, Delicious Jelly Donut, Cinema Susie, Fire Drake, Latin, Livison, Mr. Anime Mega Fan, Silent Revolver, Magdalene Marshall Thornrose, Captain Clown Jerry, the funniest Jerry maybe. Jerry Kitsune, Vanilla Mel, Rouse Tower, Satori, Anunnaki, Asian Persuasion Jerry. Oh no! They're transforming into Jerrys. Soon they'll all be Jerrys. What am I gonna do? Bitch Gremlin, Commander A-Tank, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Gypsy, Hadrian BR, Heathcliff, a pimp named Jay Crisp, J.M. Coon, the original Jerry! John Hero, Simboofa, because if you boof it is free, Miss Monday, Lexi Loves JoJo, Lord Lionel, Lori Ellis, Marble Jerry! Tastes great, less filling! Jackets Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Mirthful Baker, Mr. Jerry! Hey! Goddamn. Oh, man. The Council of Jerrys truly is assembling. My boy Nat One Nick, Natari, Lady Nix, Origami Steve, Phantom of the Pines, Katie Kids Elizabeth, Sidestep, Puggy, Cider Drinker, Serrated Ass Staples, Yeet, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tomago, Tapioca Boogaloo, Tato Fair, That Duck a Bug, The One True Fusky, Treeberg, Wilmags, yet another different Jerry! Zero Blacktail, Kira M, Kitzikin, Redwind, Goose Honk, Naga Viper, Saints Blessing, John Endors, a Normal Joe, a different Jerry! I lost track of how many Jerrys that is. Amara, A Roxers, Banished Knights, Barbushka's Irradiated Jam, Cake Jerry! The original different Jerry! California Keto Girl, Chris Meska, Cinnamon Bunny Dog, Crip Titties! Hey, that's a new one. Welcome to the fold. Crip Titties. Devon, Ghost of Alpha, KJW, Kajow, Crafty Kitty Cat, Life of a Guardian, Little Landwoods, Mark 211, maybe next time, Milk Fed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Organic Camp, Princess Rosalie, Ghosty, Ryga, Raptorite, Spoonie the Rogue, Steampunk Ellie, The Last Shinobi, The Necrobomicon, and Token Black Kid.
Oh, there's just so many Jerrys. Good God. I am in a state of shock and awe, and I love it. It's going to make writing this whole song thing a whole lot easier, I'll tell you that much. Oh, man. So, I do hope some other people will consider joining up on the Patreon, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you'll need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like, watching some more ReddX videos. Yeah, that would be cool. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, friends, bye-bye.